How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG, which ended up seeing a high of $3.28. It has been taking off due to the news that came out on the Friday in regards to the filing. We'll talk about it further in this video, but I want to make sure you guys have a game plan because we know how this stock moves on this channel. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.07, being up 23.79%. On the low, it tested $2.83, and then on the high, testing $3.28. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 84.911 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 25.669 million shares. So when we have this above average buying volume coming into BBIG, we can see days like this. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 60.37. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200 day, we are below the 100 day, but we are above the 50-day and as well as the 21-day EMA. So the first thing I want to bring to your attention, I talked about this in the previous video, we are continuing to be forming higher lows. But one thing that we have to take notice of, we have a gap up, right? We ended up gapping up today. So what does this mean? There is some downside pressure where we have to fill in this gap sometime this week. And where this level is at is around $2.60. So not far off from where it's currently at. So I would like to see this gap get filled in as soon as possible and then get us ready for that next move up. If we do decide to actually hold up support at the 50-day, which is around $2.94, then I'm going to be looking for that test above 328 to see if we can push the price up and get to around 362. So keep an eye on this level, and if we get above 362, I'll be looking out for that breakout right around 390. If we end up having some consolidation now, I think that would be a really good look, and like I said previously, filling in this gap I think really needs to be done because a lot of traders are going to be watching this, and if we don't continue to have this above average volume, I can see this price breaking down. But of course, if you guys have been watching my videos long enough, the 21-day EMA, if we continue to have price action above it, BBIG will continue to look good. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings here, we have for March the 21st, we have Nationwide Mutual Funds, which ended up purchasing 1,339 shares. And then when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 56.14%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 10.67 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 28 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 9.40%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 17th, it was at 45.72. And then for the close of the 18th, being at 56.14. So one thing that remains clear, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflow it's at 50.78, and then on the outflow it's at 46.81. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 2.17, on the medium it was 35.25, and then on the small it was 13.36. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 1.03, on the medium it was 34, and then on the small it was 11.78. Keep in mind these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see from March to 21st, which is today, we had an inflow of 1.15 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, it represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 45.69%. No surprises there. We know BBIG is going to bring a lot of interest from traders, and it does give us that above average volume that we're looking for. Combined with buying pressure, we could see moves like we saw today. So we want to see a continuation of this, especially as this week progresses. So let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, when it comes to the price action, we ended up seeing a high of $3.28. So we end up getting past this level going into tomorrow. I want to see a move going to 358. If we could pass 358, that's where I'm going to look for that breakout going to $4. Add that to your homework. Be aware of those key levels. If we decide to consolidate now, I would love for us to hold up $3. I think that would be great because then it can get us ready for that next move up. But if we do break through that $3 level, just know we have a gap that needs to be filled to the downside right around $2.59. But if we could stay above $2.54, this puts us right at that 21-day EMA, and holding this level I feel will be very crucial for this stock, or there could be some more weakness to the downside. Also, when we went on Fintel, we could see, yes, institutions have been loading up on shares, plus on top of that, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. It is starting to see a lot more interest on social media, and as far as getting the update from the SEC filing saying that the spinoff for Cryptide will be happening in early 2022. So this has investors excited, and many people are jumping into the stock. But one thing I want to make sure I'm being clear here is make sure you protect your initial investment. You have to protect your profits. Don't let a green trade go red. You have to look out for yourself. Many people are going to be saying, well, you know, this stock is going to go to $5, $10 and so forth. Hey, let them stick to that if that's what they believe in. But at the end of the day, you just want to make sure you're protecting your hard-earned money. So that's why you have to pay attention to those key levels, and when you see those pullbacks, and if you're thinking about an entry, then you can consider it and then have a tight stop loss so you're not stuck riding the elevator. I know many people don't talk about this, but I want to make sure I'm being completely honest with you, and I want to make sure you're building up great habits. This is how you're going to survive in these markets for 2022. You guys have already seen how rocky it has been. We also have Jerome Powell that came out today being hawkish. Usually he's pretty cool, he's pretty laid back, but he said, you know what, we're going to have to do those interest rate hikes, and we're looking at 50 basis points. Remember, it was not too long ago last week where it was only going to be 25 basis points. So noticing these changes, if you're inside of a company, or I should say if you're investing in a stock and they are not profitable as of yet, then you need to have some concerns. You need to make sure you're doing your homework and you're seeing, well, you know what, they're going to be able to actually survive through this environment that we are in. Because when it comes to interest rate hikes, the companies that get hit the hardest are the ones who are not profitable, the ones that don't have proven businesses behind them. So if you're going to be treating this as a speculation play or a momentum play, treat it as that. Don't be like everyone else that's telling you, well, you know what, just buy and hold. That's all you need to do. This is going to be the next AMC. I think that is foolishness, and you need to look out for yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how BBIG performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.